Hello everybody and welcome to this. This is your weekly WWE SmackDown review here on ProWrestling.me and KocoSports.net's YouTube channel. You might be very happy right now listening to this. LKVIP is no more. It's no more. I'm solely focused on this channel. Let's grow this channel up like a sumbitch. And join me on the ride as we do grow it. And I'm looking forward to this. It's my first show back, really. I did an NXT review yesterday with the full team. Sami Zayn, Dave Coco and Boom. So check that out. Lucha Underground review. So I'm here with this WWE SmackDown review. Make sure you put in the comment section the live comments. Be good to be back with you guys here for the live comments. Make sure you put in the live comments. Was this show a win? Was this show a loss? Or was this show a tie? Now, I know as recording this, I am aware that SmackDown is actually only 37 minutes actually into the show. So I'm expecting a very comment-heavy show after the show. And once it's published, once it's all processed, it will be all there. And I'm expecting a plethora of comments to be on the comment section. I'm going to respond to every single one of you for taking the time for firstly watching this. But while you're watching this, like us, comment, and subscribe. And let's get down with this SmackDown review. So the 14th of April, 2016 edition of SmackDown. I just got finished watching the show now. It aired from Valley View Casino in San Diego, California. And the show starts off with Miz TV. So we start off with the Maurice in the ring. She cuts a promo calling Miz sexy. Miz comes out. It's time for Miz TV. Zack Ryder interrupts, and the Miz teased that he would give Zack Ryder a championship match. But then, because he's a heel, because he's a heely prick, because he's one of the most heeliest sons of bitches on the planet, he says, but you're already booked in a match. And out comes Baron bullshit Corbin. I'm joking. Baron Corbin comes out, which leads to a Baron Corbin Zack Ryder match. But I just want to touch on the Miz a minute, because obviously it's been a long time since I've been on this, and it's ridiculous. I mean, I've just been focused on VIP. And you know what? Sometimes in life, it's good to fail. Now, I'm not saying that the VIP was a complete failure, but it was a Coco Plays moment. And you know what? I've tried that. I've tried that realm, and now I can go back to doing what I'm good at. And I like doing this. It's been a long time. And in case, obviously now the thing is that I've been talking for weeks and weeks and weeks about things, but you guys don't know because you weren't a VIP member, so you don't actually know what I was talking about. Basically, I've been saying for the past few weeks on these different shows I've been doing that the Miz is probably one of the very best heels in the business right now, and certainly one of the most underrated heels in the business right now. He's literally, what I love about the Miz is he comes out, he wants you to boo him. He's not one of these guys that he's a heel, but he comes out, he wants you to buy him merch. If you notice, the Miz doesn't have a single piece of merch available to purchase because he's a heel. You know, he's a heel. He doesn't need that. And, you know, he's not going out there to get a pop. He's not going out there to be liked. He's not going out to be a cool tweener or that cool heel. He's not. He's going out there to be a dick and a douchebag and make you hate him and make you want to pay to get his fucking head knocked off by Cesaro at Payback. But again, I think we're continuing this as Zack Ryder and The Miz. I don't know why. I think this is going to lead to an IC title match on Monday Night Raw, where Zack Ryder's going to get his another rematch. And I'm going to be honest with you, last week's SmackDown, I don't know if any of you guys watched the SmackDown review I did, but if you did, I thoroughly enjoyed Zack Ryder versus The Miz. I really enjoyed it. And I'm going to be honest with you, Zack Ryder is one of the biggest, moaniest, dopiest sacks of shit God's ever created. And that's a shoot, in my opinion. And, you know, lots of people are fans of Zack Ryder. Now, I, for one, have been thoroughly impressed with his in-ring ability as of late. He's put on some stellar matches. I thoroughly enjoyed his match on SmackDown last week. He wasn't on Raw because things were back to normal on Monday. And he was here on SmackDown, and he had a match with Baron Corbin. The match was a squash, but I'll get onto that in a minute. And I'm not saying I'm becoming a fan of Zack Ryder. I have I hate your guts. I hate your fucking guts. But that was a good match. It's like Coco with Cena. He won't admit it, but Cena does have good matches every now and then. They're a rarity. They're hard to come by. They're closely null to void, but they do happen. And, you know, Coco's like, he still hates him, but it's like a toot of the cap. It's a, you know what? I hate your fucking guts, and I want you to get shot. But at the end of the day, that was a good match. And I'm not going to lie to you. Zack Ryder and The Miz, the actual promo itself made me want to see Zack Ryder and The Miz. And I don't know what it is with WWE at the moment. I don't know if someone else is writing the shows. But we're actually getting talent involved in stories where I'm actually getting emotionally attached to characters. You know, I hate Zack Ryder, but I'm actually becoming attached to him. The Miz, his heel run is going to be really good. Hopefully they do not mishandle the Miz. I think, as I just mentioned, he is probably the best or the most underrated heel in the business right now. I like the unification with Maurice. They've got obviously a chemistry because they're married in real life. It's an automatic chemistry connection, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And it just works because you hate Maurice, you hate the Miz, and it just works. It's a great act, and I love it. Baron Corbin comes out, he gets an easy win over Batty Ryder. After the match, Corbin then beat Ryder down again, but Dolph Ziggler came out to make the save. So that was kind of the end of the first segment. So in this segment, you got Maurice and The Miz over as a couple. You got The Miz over as champion and as a douchebag for denying Ryder the championship match when he got the crowd all pumped for it. You got Ryder over as a threat to the IC title because he's out there saying, look, I'm going to get that, I'm going to get a match, and then boom. Baron Corbin got over because he got the win. Dolph Ziggler actually, for once, got a pop when his music hit when he came out to make the save. And also, they're building Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. Where the fuck has this been? That's good, logical booking. That's phenomenal. Good stuff. How difficult was that? It wasn't mind-boggling. I'm not asking you to be a brain surgeon. That was fundamental, simple as you can possibly get. And I really thoroughly damn enjoyed it. It's really, really, really good. Unbelievable. Then we had Emma defeating Paige in a very short match. Good to see Emma back on the main roster. Obviously, she had a good stint in NXT. Byron Saxton, usually the man of irrelevance. I liked how he brought up NXT because normally they don't. And obviously, Mauro Ranallo is just probably one of the best commentators in the business right now. And it's such a treat to listen to him on SmackDown. He was talking about, he was being a historian, talking about, the Australian roots of sports entertainment, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and the sports entertainment roots of the UK, making it feel like a global company. He did a good job of that. And Emma got the win, kind of surprised me. But, Paige is the show of the women's division, in my opinion, right now. I'm trying to think of my mind right now of a match that was really good that Paige has had. I mean, this wasn't bad per se. It's just, I'll forget this by tomorrow. I mean, I was happy Emma got the win. I really, really was. I was really happy because I'm looking forward to this Emma-Becky Lynch feud. It's really strange now it's the women's division. You've actually got lots of stories intertwined instead of, we're going to have the championship and then nothing else matters. You got Lynch and Emma. You got the championship and then you've got a couple others. And I do like that a lot. But if I'm going to be honest, I think it's time to cut some dead weight. Cameron, catch your ass down the line. Rosa Mendes, how do you still have a job? Who else can we cut? Brie Bella's gone. Nikki Bella's gone. You actually got a damn good women's division. Alicia Fox, you know what? I don't hate her. I have nothing against Alicia Fox. She can stay. I'm feeling generous. Then we had Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy come out. They defeated the Ascension to advance in this WWE Tag Team Tournament in a meh match. Their entrance is awesome. They cut a good promo before just ripping on the Ascension, which was awesome. And by the way, don't worry, I'm going to be going to live comments, but I'm just going to make sure I'm going to run the show down because what we noticed is some people like live comments, some people don't. So if we keep, the people who like the live comments, we'll put that towards the end of the show. And then, people who don't like the live comments, they can just go once the review's finished. That was one complaint that we get, which is really strange. Can you be more interactive? Yeah. Oh, can you stop being interactive? Okay, cool. Anyway, really nothing match. And I'm going to be honest with you, Amore and Cassidy, as great as Coco said it best, they're great sports entertainers. But in my opinion, they're not great pro wrestlers. They're sports entertainers. This is a sports entertainment company, so it suits them. But as a pro wrestling fan, I'm a fan of both. I really am. I like to be sports entertained on a Monday evening at 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. I do. I want to be sports. I was thoroughly sports entertained. This show to me, I said this back in January when they did the relaunch on the USA Network. If you remember, if you were still there, and if you were, good job. I talked about how they should focus SmackDown as the sports show, make it the wrestling show. And I think they've done that. I mean, here you had AJ Bertie, you had Zayn Jericho, you had Emma Page, you had, stuff that was decent, but I don't know what it is. Something about Amore and Cassidy, back to that point, that I just don't like. Now, don't give me... Actually, I don't even care if you do. It's just my opinion. I'm coming on. I'm not going to say, this... Blah, 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 blah. No, it's my opinion. It's my damn show. And if you don't like it, put in the comments why. And don't say I'm an idiot. Say, no, you're wrong. Because... we can have a debate about it. I don't hate Amore and Cassidy. They're just meh. Like, I saw them at TakeOver. I thought the reaction was great. and all. But I just thought their match was very underwhelming, and I just don't appreciate the offense. And it's just something that may, if I named you all of my favorite wrestlers, you got Angle, Benoit, you got AJ, and you could keep going on and on. You know, they're wrestlers, and these are sports entertainers. And again, I've said it's not that I don't like sports entertainment. It's really, really not. Oh my god, we are live. You know what? Molly, you can go fuck yourself. Molly, you can go fuck yourself. You know what? Because of that, Molly, we're going to go to live comments and we're going to listen to Rey Mysterio be a dirty shitbag. So Rey Mysterio, come at me with your fucking fuck, marry, kill shit. No one else knows what this means, but it's a little rib no one understands. Here we go. Oh, here we go. See, dude, right, I'm blocking that. Hey, oh god, Rey Mysterio and that fangirl are gonna have it on. I'm sorry, Rey Mysterio. That fangirl's taken. Oh, dude, this has become a clusterfuck. You can't fucking text me during a fucking live show. I might block you for that. People have done less for blocking, and this goes to that fangirl. I blocked Halima for trying to text me. Don't think I won't block you. Shall I block you live on air? That could be a very entertaining thing. I was in the middle of dissecting and analyzing SmackDown. We were going on a rant about sports entertainment and pro wrestling, and then we're going to get that. No, I'm not going to let this phase me. We're going to go back. As a Maureen Cassidy, it's not that, again, to the point of, it's not that I don't like them. It's just that style of sports entertainment as such, it just doesn't do it for me. I'm a fan of professional wrestling, guys going in there, busting their ass off inside that 20 by 20 squared circle, not these goofballs going in there and dancing. Any old Tom, Dick, and Harry can go do what they do. Okay, they connect with the crowd, great. That's great. But per se, I just don't give a fuck. But giving a fuck, we move on to a really good match of AJ Styles and ADR. And again, the highlight of this for me was not a good thing. Bertie was on the top. He went for a reverse suplex off the top, and Jesus H. Christ on a damn popsicle stick. All you see is AJ's head bounce ridiculously off that canvas. Really ridiculously. The ref checked on him straight away, really looked nasty. And obviously AJ's got that WWE World Heavyweight Championship match coming up against Payback against Roman Reigns. So obviously you want to see AJ Styles keep looking after himself and taking risks like that on an episode of SmackDown. It's not worth it. It's not what I know, you know, the pride and all, wanting to go out there and having the best damn match of the show and stealing the show every night. But at what costs? You know, this is why people are getting injured. And again, people who come up to me and say the injury list is growing because of the amount of work that they're doing. They're doing 5 days and 5 nights a week. No, I'm going to be honest. The reason why these people are getting hurt is because they're not working more. They're just working harder. They need to work more safe. Did AJ and Bertie really need to go and do that? No, they didn't. They didn't need to go out and do that in any way, shape, or form. There is a plethora of things they could have done instead of that stupid spot. It didn't do nothing for the match at all. It didn't enhance the story. There was no psychology, but fuck, I could go on a 10-minute tangent about how ridiculous and stupid the lack of psychology and selling is in the wrestling business in general, which is why you should all check out the Evolve review, because there was actually an element of in-ring psychology in a professional wrestling match. Who would have ever thought that? Fucking hell. But it just, people need to stop expecting spot fests and just go back to the roots and just expect a story. You know, ADR and AJ Styles, how simple this has been. ADR's finisher is the cross arm breaker. Why couldn't he have just worked AJ's arm for about 10 minutes? AJ comes back, come back. He sells the arm. He goes for a springboard forearm, but he can't because his arm gives way. So he has to get the win with this calf cutter. Okay, you're getting the calf cutter over, you're getting him submission over, and you're going to get him over. Instead, AJ wins with a roll-up. I don't know why they protected Bertie. This guy's been treated like a sack of shit for the past fucking 3 months. I mean, he is the guy who sold his soul to the devil. He went from main eventing Lucha Underground and main eventing AAA with the biggest smile on his face to come out with the most dopiest sack of shit look on his face, the poor bastard. But you know what? He sold his soul for money. So good for him. Good for him. We have a comedy segment with Fandango and the Golden Truth next. The Vaudevillains defeated Goldust and Fandango in a very quick match and a very dull match. And again, for the second time in the space of 2 weeks, the third time really in 2 weeks, the Vaudevillains very lackluster, very dull. They don't bring much to the table apart from their entrance. And they just don't do it for me. And I don't mean to be negative. Now, this episode of SmackDown was good, but actually looking at it, there's just so many things wrong. I just don't care. There was no build up. There was no vignettes. It's just, hey, here's the Vaudevillains. They were on NXT. No, Jesus, they haven't been on Raw yet. They've just kept them on SmackDown. Why couldn't you have done, instead of putting them on SmackDown, instead of putting them in this tournament, which means they're eventually going to lose because there's 2 debuting teams in there. You got Amore and Cassidy, who are much, much more over than the Vaudevillains. But then, my dick could walk out on that and it'll be more fucking over than the Vaudevillains. That, they come out, the crowd is dead. And here's a question for the commenters. Do you think that Vince picked the specific talents he picked to be brought up to the main roster to bury them? Out of all the talents you could pick that are over right now in the NXT scene, he brings up the Vaudevillains, who haven't done nothing for months. Apollo Crews hasn't done nothing for months. Is that a viable explanation to why he's bringing these people up? Baron Corbin, he hasn't had that big run yet. He's not ready yet. He hasn't had that big heel company push. And I think they're all going to flop. I mean, Apollo Crews, my pissing is louder than his crowd reaction, and that's in front of a 20,000 building venue. The Vaudevillains, they didn't even pipe in crowd noise. It's fucking SmackDown, for crying out loud. They could have piped it in. And it's very depressing. It's very morally destroying because I'm not, a big fan of the Vaudevillains, but it's upsetting to see that their career go down the drain like that. But hey ho, it's not my fucking talent. I honestly do think that in the bottom of my heart that the Vaudevillains went there and sent a message to Big Nose, to H, saying, look, your talent, your roster means shit. Look, they're nothing. And I think that is a point. I mean, Tyler Breeze is another example. He just came up. He hasn't won a match in 49 consecutive matches. Tyler Breeze has yet to win a match. This is, I swear to God, Vince is killing NXT. He's trying to kill NXT. I promise you. I promise you. It's not a coincidence. Of all the people he could have brought up, Baylor, Joe, Nakamura, all these people that are over in NXT, Bailey, he could have brought any of them up. Who does he bring up? Apollo Crews? Vaudevillains? Come on, Baron Corbin. He is burying that brand, his own brand. But he's an imbecile and a toilet. Then in the main event, the match of the night, this is a really good match. Sami Zayn versus Chris Jericho. Really good stuff. The match came to an end when basically Sami Zayn launched Jericho into Owens on the outside. Jericho beat up Dean Ambrose, because obviously the feuds they're doing at the moment is Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I'm assuming and presuming that that's at Payback. And it causes disqualifications, so that's smart booking, because you didn't have Zayn looks weak, you didn't have Chris Jericho look weak. That's smart and logical and fundamental booking. Good job there. And then they all brawled. The show ended hot with Dean Ambrose and Sami Zayn in the center of the ring. Stop fucking messaging me, you toilet. And it was very, very... This show was decent. It was watchable. It was a strong tie. But there were just certain things that pissed me off. Like, no psychology. AJ and Bertie killing each other. Amore and Cassidy being good sports entertainers, but to me, not good pro wrestlers. The main event was great. Vaudevillains, poor bastards, and Vince burying. So we're going to go some live comments. Thank you for everyone who do leave live comments. Molly, leave me alone. Stop stalking me. Don't block me. I'm not actually going to block you. I was only joking. He did the moment, man. Where are we then? Fucking hell. Oh, Jesus Christ. Welcome back, blah, blah, blah. Is Bullet Club slowly forming? These are all from Rey Mysterio. Okay. Rey Mysterio. Is Bullet Club slowly forming? Yeah. I touched on that. I think it might have been yesterday on the NXT show, where I did specifically touch on that. Is it a coincidence that Anderson and Gallows attack the Usos, which are Roman Reigns' cousins, and AJ Styles is fighting Roman Reigns in the main event at the pay-per-view at Payback? Is that a coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. But maybe Vince is just too dumbfounded to realistic. Jesus Christ. Should AJ turn heel? Maybe he might turn heel at the Bullet Club, but I don't know. He's getting a pretty damn good fan reaction. He sells pretty well merch. I'm tempted to buy a shirt. Who should face New Day at Payback? Well, it depends who wins this tournament, and it's kind of hard to tell in the early stages. When is Baylor being brought up? I thought it would have been on last Monday, if I'm going to be frank with you. But yeah, in the end of the day, if Baylor carries this NXT ship and the NXT flag, which he's doing, he's losing money. But in the end of the day, if you were there and you had a choice of I could be booked really well at NXT, or I could go up to the main roster and get treated like shit but earn more money. I know what I'm doing. Will Enzo and Cass ever get old like New Day? I don't find them boring. I don't find them dull. Again, I don't hate them. I just don't enjoy that style. That's not for me. Maurice gave me a boner. Oh, Rey Mysterio, you dirty boy. Will Ryder cost Miz the match against Cesaro? That's a good shout. Probably not. I'm expecting Miz to have a good run. Is Bray Wyatt's injury worrying? Yeah, kind of. Well, I kind of feel bad for him because he's at the peak right now. I mean, on Monday night he was basically one-on-one face-to-face with the champ, with the man, Roman Reigns, in the main event of Raw, and he came off being involved in a segment with The Rock at WrestleMania just eight nights prior to that. He beat down on the League of Nations. He defeated League of Nations. He won in the main event of Raw, and now he's injured. I just feel sorry for the guy. Will WWE continue to give us good Raws now? No. Any Dave Meltzer news? Okay. Well, I love Dave Meltzer. Subscribe to the Wrestling Observer. I love that shit. That fangirl, no, don't block me. No, I won't block you. Push Eric Rowan, joke. You better be joking. Heel LK every podcast. Yeah. Why are heels non-existent anymore? That's a simple one. Right, the reason why heels are non-existent anymore is because basically wrestlers would rather A, sell merchandise, B, be that cool heel where they get cheered and look at me, I'm a heel, but the crowd love me so much they still cheer me. No, that means you are shit at your job and apologize to Rick Rude. If I was a wrestler in 2016, lo and behold, the ring wouldn't be blessed enough, and they came up to me and said, look, you're working heel tonight. I was like, okay. So I'm going to go out there, I'm going to cut a promo saying, you stupid, fat, stupid sacks of shit sat here paying your money to watch me. You're going to sit on your knees and you're going to be fucking quiet, you sacks of shit. Boo, boo. There you are. That's better than cheers. You're hated. Then that means the babyface will be more over. The babyface will sell more merch. And what used to happen is the better the heel was, the more money the babyface would make, technically, because obviously the merch money, the babyface would give the heels a bit of the money. That was a story I heard. I can't remember what show it was. That was Cactus Jack did that with Sabu. Sabu did that with Cactus Jack. Sorry. What should be Apollo Crews' character? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. He's just a guy who's a great wrestler. That's it. And he's kind of, I don't know, nothing. Has AJ Styles showed signs of a heel turn at Raw and at SD? No, he hasn't. What was JoJo wearing tonight? I don't know. What would you like to see Reigns be the leader of the Bullet Club? That's what's been going around recently, is that Reigns is going to turn out to be the leader. If that happens, great. But then, I don't know. No, I don't see it. I'm going to be honest with you. How long until they are jokes in WWE for the Vaudevillains? Dude, the Vaudevillains are already jokes. They're a waste of time. Kevin Dunn needs to be fired. I agree with that. Andy Paps with the comment of the night. Kevin Dunn needs to be fired. Raymond saying, how would you book Owens versus Zayn? Exactly how they're booking him. They're booking. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Payback actually, to me, feels and actually excites me much more compared to WrestleMania. Owens versus Zayn, we know will deliver. Jericho versus Ambrose actually been telling a decent story, and we know will deliver. And we're actually going to get Ambrose to go over. I'm actually going to make stars. Oh, funny. AJ Roman Reigns is going to be good. We've got this tag title feud. I'm actually, and you got Charlotte and Natalia, which promises to be a good outing. Obviously, their match at Roadblock earlier on in February was a great match, so I'm expecting that to be good. So Payback as a show and as an actual wrestling card actually damn impresses me. Was Bray Wyatt working good as a face? He didn't really do much different, did he? The crowd just popped. That was it. So I'm going to refresh the live comments one more time. Thank you, everyone who left a live comment. Very kind of you, jabrones. No, that's it. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Head over to ProWrestling.me. Head over to KocoSports.net. That's KocoSports.net. So whether we're cash, over combat sports, and above all, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. Thanks for watching live. If you're watching this on demand on the YouTube channel, make sure you put in the comments, was this show a win? Was this show a loss? Was this show a tie? Despite how negative I was being towards certain acts, I'm going to give this show a tie. So that being said, it's 2:01 a.m. I might do one more show, and then I'm going to hit the rack. So thank you very much. Like, comment, subscribe, pressing.me, KocoSports.net. Coco plays. Mr. Coco just popped. Stay safe, stay well. This has been your boy LK, and I'll be damn sure catching your asses down the line.